Well, how is it doing? It's Friday night. It's Ask Me a Question night. So I'm having a ball with this because some of the questions you guys ask me a little bit, a lot. Some of them are deep and some of them a little bit, they're funny. So I printed them because they were actually 12. The first one, I will let some other people join us. And yes, I'm having a nice night. It's Friday night. It's -4 in Toronto. And it's cold. I think it's below, the wind chill and whatever else, it's about -10. So I thought it would be most appropriate to put a fire on. So there is that wonderful fire blazing away. I dare not open it completely. I would be toasty, too toasty, because I'm almost, I'm close to the hearth, but not right on the hearth. So if I open it, it would just roast me to death. And of course, we cannot have that happen. Then there will be no live tonight, right? So there I am, seeing if anybody's going to join us yet. Give you a few minutes. I'll check the time to see that it's a little bit. It's 1 minute after 7. So, and it starts at 7. So here we go. So one of the questions, actually the last question for the evening that I received was a question where somebody asked me if I'm ever nervous when I do the video, that I don't look nervous. Well, yes, I am. I'm extremely nervous. If you know me well, you would know that I'm nervous. I am, I'm afraid or fearful that I might not answer the questions, or I might forget a point when I'm doing one of the other things that I do. I might not have the right answer, or I haven't thought it through. So yes, I am nervous when I do this, and it's really something that you have to take your time. And of course, if you're not nervous, then I really applaud you. If you do anything like this where it comes out and it has to go. So yes, I am nervous. I am not afraid, but I'm fearful that something would happen. And then the other part of the question, what I'm afraid of? Well, I don't know if I'm afraid of that, but I don't like movies with blood. I cannot even stand it. The idea of looking at something that where the person is bleeding, I will close my eyes, or it's very violent, I'll cover my face. So, and I've always been like that. I know it's not true. I know it's not real, it's fake. If somebody hurts themselves and I'm there and I see it, it frightens me too. I'll make screams and move my face and walk away. Yet, my daughter is a doctor, so she can eat a steak and look at the surgery at the same time, and I have a niece that does the same thing, and they're both in the medical field. So yes, I have those two fears. I don't like blood. I had a sister who was a nurse in France. She was a thoracic surgery, so she saw the heart and all of that. I cannot stand that. So yes, I have those two fears. I'm afraid when I start a video that nobody will like what I'm saying, or I might make a mistake. It's more not what people say. That doesn't really bother me so much, what people say. I just shove it like that. I have things that I use to protect myself from that. I talk about the man in the arena a lot, that speech by Theodore Roosevelt. I reference Eve, the poem he wrote for his son by Rudyard Kipling. So yeah, so those things will bother me, but I don't like seeing blood and all that stuff. And I am afraid when I start the video, I shake a little. Eventually I get into my groove, but the beginning is usually very difficult to take. So yeah, I have that fear. So that was the last question. I did it first because I thought it would be worthwhile to say that before I started the video. So I have other questions that they came in, and one of them is, how are you able to read 7 books at a time? I don't know. I don't read seven books in one sitting. I read from one of the 7 books every day. So since there's 7 days in the week, I read from one. It's a discipline thing. I love reading. I love adventure. I love fantasy. I love fiction. I love biographies. I love adventure. I love who've done it. So I have quite a wide range of reading, and I love historical romances. So I love reading. I've always been a reader. So what I do, I try to read maybe for about 30 to 40 minutes, which is about 15 pages a day. And I just go through the circle. So I read this one, I put it down, that becomes the last, that becomes, and the week goes like this. So no, I don't read 7 books all at one time. I read from 7 books in 1 week. 1 book a week, a day. And I do that every week. And there's some books I have forever on there. And then I have a few new books that I put in. I did Evan Carmichael's book, so I like that, You're Built to Serve. I do other books that I have. I like Think and Grow Rich, never stop learning from that. I have Anthony Trollope books. I love his writing. And it's very small print, but I enjoy reading that. So that's what I do. So yes, I do love reading. So somebody asked, who motivates you to be you? So who motivates me to be the person I am? I was raised to be me. I was always taught that I should be me. I should always be who I am. So that's something that was always there. I always knew that. But what I found out as I grew older and I got more knowledge and a little bit of wisdom and a lot of observation, I learned from children. Children motivates me a lot. Children are so pure. Up until the age of about 9, it's like it's an adventure talking to children. You just never know where that thing will go. They have very practical answers to everything. They have very practical solutions to a lot of things. And when they talk to you, they are not really, they're very fearless to a point in certain things. What they know for sure. So children motivate me quite a bit. I love listening to them. I love interacting with them. They will tell you what they like. They'll tell you what they don't like. They will observe something and tell you, I don't like that and I don't want to do that. But they're so sure. And yet when we become an adult, we are able to say no. We never say we can't. I was listening to Evan Carmichael the other day, and he was talking about Zan, and Zan said he cannot say no. So I can say no. It's very easy for me to say no. And it has always been like that. I always knew to say no. Because if you want me to do something, don't you dare tell me it's good for you to do this. That just makes me not do it. So as soon as I see a situation, I will know to say no. So I just say no. I don't want to do this, so I'm going to say no. So yes, that is something I learned from children. They say no. Or if they can't talk yet, they'll shake their head. Who taught them to shake their head? You're putting a spoon with some food on their, towards their mouth, and they shake their head. Or they'll use their hand and brush it away. Too bad for you. So if you want to learn how to really go through life, observe children from the age time they can walk until they're about 8, 9, maybe to 10. They're very open when they like you. And children know. Children are very funny. They know who likes them. They know who they want to be with. And I don't know if they can sense the energy, but if somebody is not very close to children or doesn't particularly want to be children, they'll stay away from them. They'll stay away from them. And if you explain to children why you're disciplining them, they understand that. And it's always wise when you're saying no to a child to say why you're saying no. So I learned from children. I always do. So the children motivates me to be me, because they make you believe for sure you can be the person you want to be. Now, number 3, do you ever feel overwhelmed by what you do? No, I never do feel overwhelmed. There's not just no in my answers tonight. I don't feel overwhelmed because, again, I can decide what I want to do. I decide if I want to do something, and I decide if I don't want to do it. And if I don't want to do it, I just won't do it. So no, I don't feel overwhelmed by what I do. I take on a lot, but everything I do is planned. I choose when to react, whether it's not a nice reaction or a pleasant reaction. I never just run off the handle. I think about things a lot. I muse. I take it in, and I think about it. I think about the situation, and I might come back later and say, okay, so yeah, I don't let things overwhelm me, because I put things in their places. I have a plan. I follow a plan. I have rituals that I do on a daily basis. I don't overwhelm my day. I have things that I do, so I make space for that. And if somebody calls me at 6:45, for example, I do a live every night at 7. I'll say, I'll answer, but I'll say, I can't talk to you now. I'm going live at 7. And sometimes that person might be insistent and say to me, but you don't have to, you have 15 minutes. I said, that 15 minutes, and I do say that, is to get myself ready. This, what I do, is important to me. I can call you when I'm done. Is that okay with you? So some people can take that, and some people get angry. But you have to deal with that. So that again is a matter of saying no. I cannot talk to you 15 minutes before I get ready to do this. I like to be composed. I like to be relaxed. I like making sure I have my water. If I'm having tea, I'm making sure that I had to do the fire. I wanted to have the fire on tonight. So I have a plan. And you should do the same. When somebody tells you to do something that is outside of what you want to do today, you have to look at it. You don't have to say, no, I will never talk to you. I don't. I say, but I can talk to you now. And that is one of the things that I do. I make sure that I let people know what I want to do. So if you call me at 6:45 and ask me if I can have a conversation, I'll say, no, I can't. I'm getting ready to go on. So I need that time to get myself prepared. So this is exactly why I am never overwhelmed. Everything I do, I have a plan for it, or I prepare myself for it. That's why morning rituals are important. I start my day at a gallop, but it's my gallop, my pace of gallop. It's not somebody else's. It's my choice. I am up. I do my exercises. I get in the shower. I do what I do. I do this. I do my morning rituals, prayer and meditation. I have water. I have coffee. And then when it's time, I come out here. So this is one of the things that I do. I have several different places. So again, I might not want to do it in the family room. I might want to use my office. If it's summer, I want to use outside. I might use the kitchen. So I'm never overwhelmed. So that is one of the things that they ask me, do you ever feel overwhelmed by what you do? No, I don't, because everything is timed. The first 3 questions, as I said, I can answer them, go back over them at the end. So number 4 was, what do you do for fun? So I can honestly tell you, everything I do is for fun. I really enjoy the things I do. So preparing for my morning blessing is a fun exercise. It started out as a fun exercise. It started out as something that I wanted to do. And it just grew out of there. So it's still fun. I have no difficulty finding a topic. I just never have. And I have always written. I've been an avid reader all my life. And I do write. I've always written stuff. I just write. I write my thoughts. I write everything. So I wrote stories all the time. Even when I was a child, I would look at it. So I consider myself a writer. And as a writer, I see words. I really don't see pictures. I take a word and I create a picture for you to see. So that's how I see it. I don't see a picture and then put words to it. I have words and then I make a picture out of it that you can see. So that's what an author does, really. We take you where we've been. We put you in the place where our mind went. Your body now and your mind, you will feel the exhilaration and you'll feel the fear and you will feel the magic and you will feel, all what that happens to the author when they're writing that book. You're going to experience that. And that's what I do. So I can take one word and write a whole thing about it. I'll take a simple word. Like you could tell me, well, what are you going to write about if? And I put it on the paper and then I'll just start. So I could perhaps ask you, I put on the paper and say, if you had two heads, what would you do? And that is one of the things that a writer does. We use a word. We don't use a picture. We write from a word. And from that word, we will say, you tell me, what can you do with the word if? I'll write, well, if you went there, what would happen? And perhaps, and I'll take if, and every third or fourth sentence, I'll find a way to pick there. If you went there and you met Mr. Brown, you had a conversation with him about his garden. And if he told you that he worked constantly in the garden, what would you say? And so I can continue the story because I can play the characters, the words. So when you use one word, you can create a whole story. And I love doing that. So that is why everything I do is fun. I laugh a lot. So everything I do, what do you do for fun? Everything I do for fun. If I visit my friend, I don't come to visit their house. I come to visit them. So I don't care. As long as my friend is available and we have a chat and we enjoy and we have a laugh. And we might be laughing at our own selves. So that is fun. I enjoy, again, as I said, I learn from children. From the youngest child, the minute they can walk, you can learn things from them. They teach you because they're bold, they're fearless, they have opinions, and they tell you, they hold back. They know how to say no. So you learn. So everything I do is fun. I look for fun in things that I do. I am not saying life has a lot of, my life doesn't have things that hold you back. Of course they do. But what am I going to do about them? I can't manage them, but I can manage how I react to them. So I choose to react to them with fun. So that's why everything I do with fun. And I only do what I want to do. I only go where I want to go. If a situation bores me, which is very seldom, I like people to have opinion. I like you to be aware that there's a world out there besides your world. So I will wonder why, but then I just wouldn't participate again because it has no fun. So if there is no fun, I'm not showing up. So do you have a favorite child? Of course, everybody has a favorite child. Your favorite child is the child that has qualities that are different than you. So every child has qualities that you like. And somebody might say, this is your favorite child. They're really not. We have answered this question before, but it comes up so often. Everybody that says to you that they have a favorite child, if you talk to them and you sit with them, they have certain qualities in the children that they like, more than other qualities. So some children will have a quality that is good for you, it's soothing, or some of them have a quality that forces you to think, forces you to react. That doesn't mean you don't like the child, but the quality that person shows is interesting. So yes, I love the different qualities in my children. I don't favor one from another because there's always something in one child that is not pleasant. And you have to understand that is normal. So when you say, I prefer my daughter or my son to my daughter, that is not true. If you sit really and you think about it, you will find out you like qualities in those children at different times. Just like you have qualities that are working at different times. So this is what we do. So as I don't have a favorite child, I love certain qualities in my children. And sometimes that is something I've discussed with my friends, and I'll tell you, that is something people don't understand. You are not the only person that got together with yourself to create this child. There were two of you. And sometimes the quality you did not like in the spouse or you don't like in the spouse will surface in one of the children. And you might turn around and say, you're just like your father. You're just like your mother. Not that they're completely like their mother or they're completely like their father, but there are qualities in them that you find that is just like that parent. So you have to understand that since you only gave 50% of your DNA and the other 50% came from somewhere else, there's going to be qualities of nature from that other part that does not belong to you, which you didn't like in the first place. So that doesn't mean because now these qualities are in your children that you're going to like them. You will still have a reservation about them. But it's a conversation. Never ask someone or tell them they favor a child. That is not, honestly, you're not treating them properly. You ask them to tell you about their children. And when they talk about your children, you will learn that there's qualities in each child that they love. And there's qualities in each child they would prefer not to see. But they have to realize you did not create that person by yourself. So one lady, her son had done some terrible things, and she said, I did not raise him that way. So I said to her, it's not a matter of nurture. It could be nature. Those things you don't like, did his father do it? Did the father's father did it? And then she put her hands to her mouth, and she remembered that this child's grandfather had done the same thing. And she realized it. So you have to see that in your children or in your family or wherever. So, number 6, do you ever feel despondent about life? So I know what the meaning of despondent is. I know. So I still went and I checked it out. The definition is in low spirit from loss of hope or courage. That is what despondent means. So the person said to me, you're always so hype and pumped and always ready to go. You don't hold back. So do you ever feel despondent about life? No, I don't, because I look at it, I don't know, there's nothing that could be despondent about. Because it said low in spirit from loss of hope or courage. But if you have faith and you believe, even if the world is falling apart around you, you have to hold on to that faith and you have to hold on to the belief. Yes, something happens at the side, you will pause. You need to pause. But in your pausing, you must realize, oh, I cannot change what has happened. What can I do about this? I can decide how to react. I can get angry. If it's something somebody did, I can turn around and be angry, or I can withdraw and let it simmer or let it dissipate. Let the air get out of the balloon before it explodes. So that is one of the things that I don't get despondent about. I look for hope, and I don't lose hope. Hope is internal. As long as you're alive, you have to have hope that it has to get better. It's like this COVID thing. The only thing we can do is protect ourselves and each other. So losing hope is hard, but some people won't get it. The only way you survive this thing is to have faith in something bigger and greater than you. That you believe that you have this on your side, and that you know you're going to hold on to, and you maybe have to repeat 5,000 times, I am going to get out of it. God has my back. I know I will be okay. And that is what takes care of being despondent or having that feeling of despondency because something has happened. Somebody dies and you feel sad. Of course, you're not going to see them in the flesh anymore. And that is why it's important to tell the younger generations or the people that give you the rose when you can smell it. It's no point the person treats you badly, but when you pass on, they're upset and screaming. They're actually screaming because of their behavior. So how they reacted. So remember, our actions always come back. So no, I certainly not courage. Like I said, I have fear of doing things. I'm afraid to do some things, but I'll step into it. Just because I know I should do it. I have to conquer that fear. One of the questions they asked me at the beginning, do you ever feel nervous when you come to do this TV thing and this live you're doing? Of course I do. I am very nervous, so I explained that. And then, so that is why when I'm despondent, I don't get to the point of despondency. I believe it has to be better. I believe my life is to be perfectly just as it is. And if that comes, then that is something I need to look at and decide how I'm going to react to it. And then, are you afraid of dying? Hell no. How can you be afraid of something you have absolutely no control about? So are you afraid of dying? No, I'm not afraid of dying. Because I can't control when I die and how I die and all that. I can protect myself from certain things I'm aware of that might hurt me, but I am not afraid of the act of dying. I don't know what that would be like. It's something that is inevitable. You have to die. And I would like to know that I took a chance and I tried stuff, that I didn't leave any stone unturned. It's like the person who said, do you have regrets? Regret is only when you didn't try. You have regret because you didn't try. But if you tried, then you know you tried. You cannot regret. Somebody said, if you didn't like the outcome. I said, well, the outcome doesn't make you regret. You didn't like the outcome, but you tried. So it's like, these are the same thing. I am not afraid of dying. I don't dwell on it though, because it has to come. But every moment is more important to me to enjoy it, to do what I like, to do what I enjoy doing, like coming here, doing my life, and don't care if anybody comes to listen to me. Because that's what gives me charm. If one of you come tonight and I have 11 things to talk about, and I'm on number 7, and you come just as I did number 8, you need to hear number 8. So that's how I do it. I do it not because I want, if millions of you came, naturally everybody would be happy. But I do it because I want to do it. I love doing it. I have a choice. I have an option. And I like serving. I like helping. If I know something, I will share it. I like helping, seeing people succeed. I love when people succeed. I love when somebody does not know and I know and I can teach. And I accept them and you can go and you can use it. And it's fine. Use it. I don't care. You don't have to tell anybody where that information comes from. Take it and run with it. Feel good that you have somebody stepping in for you. I am older than a lot of my people that I frequent because I coach young people. And I mentor a lot of young people, both men and women. And they often ask me that question, like if I would change anything or if I'm afraid of dying. And I'm not, because every day is another day for me to try. Every morning is another morning for me to do better. If I did something yesterday that was not nice, today I want to do something better. So no, I'm not afraid of dying, but I want to know that every opportunity that came my way, I took a chance and tried it. I might fail, but I will say I did it. I might not be the best person to do an IG Live, but I want to know I tried it. I want to look at it and say, no, I did IG Lives. And I just want to know that I tried it. So I believe when people said, when you get to heaven, you're going to be judged. I don't think that is it. I cannot believe the God that is so good is going to punish you. He's going to ask you, why didn't you take a chance to do this? Why you left that? That was an opportunity I sent you. Why didn't you just take it and run with it? You were afraid, or you didn't have the courage, or you didn't know better. So that's what I believe. So no, I'm not afraid of dying. And I'm not afraid of judgment either. So, number 8. Do you wonder what life would be like after COVID? I don't know. I don't give COVID much credence. I believe what you don't want, you don't pay attention to it. I know I listen to the rules: wear a mask, stay home, wash your hands, don't go gallivanting all over the place, go out when you have to go out, come back in. I'm going to follow all those rules. So do you wonder what life will be like after COVID? I think for those of us who neglected family, who didn't spend time with family, whether in person or on the phone or hello to our neighbor, I think we will be the ones that will be getting a head dive into that behavior. It's like if the person who would look away rather than wave at a neighbor. Or the person who couldn't be bothered to pick up the phone to call a mother, and the mother or father, they lost them because of COVID. Or the person who was always too busy to pick up the phone and call a friend. Or the person who just decide, I'm not going to do this, I don't want to bother with people, I'm going to stick to myself, whatever. And COVID has made them feel it. So when COVID is over, there'll be a rush of hugging and kissing and falling over each other to make up for however long COVID has come to stay. I believe COVID is teaching us a lesson. I believe COVID is telling us, behave yourself, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, love others. I think it's a big lesson. This is the first time in 102 years, 3 years this year, that we've had something that has touched the entire world. So 1918 to now. And so that's 103 years. And it didn't just touch Africa or the South America or somewhere in the Middle East or in South Asia. It touched everybody at the same time. Simply, in some cases, days apart, continents apart, in days apart. Why? Because we fly, the world is smaller, and those type of things. So no, I think it will be a lot of us who've always shared, served, helped others, encouraged others, enlightened others. We will be those looking and smiling, because we'll be so amused in a kind of a deep way, a sense that's deeper than that. We'll be the ones that will, those that always gave from their heart. And I don't mean money or material things, but loved helping others, serving others, encouraging others, being kind to others, being generous in their time with others. Those of us will not have to fix anything. We'll just pick up where we left off. So that's the difference. But those that didn't do that, they will want to make a head dive into being kind and generous and loving and caring because they were scared. But when they're taking that dive, they have to be careful, because they might be standing so close to the ground that they might hit their head on the ground and crack it open. So no, those of us who have done good all our lives with being involved with others, we will not, our life won't change. A lot of the times we will just be observing and smiling. And that is one of the things. So COVID came to give us a lesson. And those of us that served, that helped, that always was there for others, all we're going to do is continue. And those that never did that, they will be so anxious to do it that they might overwhelm you. So this person that never called you, never talked to you, never acknowledged you, never served you, never helped you, never encouraged you, always criticized you, all of a sudden the COVID has taught them so many valuable lessons that they'll come with an overload. It's like a big wind, and you have to be careful that they don't blow you over with their enthusiasm. But those of us who always served, enlightened, educate, and encourage, we are going to be continuing in the same pace. Somebody calls, you help them. Somebody drops by, you help them. Somebody says, I don't know how to do, you say, I do, and this is how you do it. No strings attached. So that is what I think will happen. Those that were always there, giving and serving and helping and assisting others, will continue. And those that didn't, they will go overboard because they don't want to lose that opportunity again. And that is what happens. You talk about making memories. You said making memories is important to you. Why? This is a question. You talk about making memories. Making memories is important to you, and why? Making memories is important to me because especially with children, I think I talked on a live with Kathleen earlier this week. Was it this week? I think it was this week, yes. And we talked about memories. I am very much into making memories, especially with children. Because if you think back, we all have had bumps in the road in our life. Some of us, it have been so devastating that we are still carrying it with us, and it's very difficult. But there are some of us who have wonderful memories that will forge from parent. And that, when the going gets tough as an adult, is what you fall back on, is what sustains you, is what makes you feel better. It's what makes you care and makes you realize it will be okay. I know somebody who loved me and cherished me and hugged me and kissed me and never told me I was too much. And that's your parent. So yes, I believe in making memories with children. I love making memories with children. Like when my grandson comes for the summer, I get him to plant his garden, and he has to water it, and he's so involved in his plants. And when my girlfriend's grandchildren get in, I tell them I planted a cherry tomato plant just for you, and they'll go pick their tomatoes and they'll put them on. If they're 20 ripe ones, they'll try to take all 20 and walking and they're holding for dear life and trying to eat at the same time. So they remember. And they will tell you, children are funny, they'll tell you, oh, you have the best tomatoes. Oh, Grammy Tess, you make the best rice. And that is a 4-year-old talking to you like that. So you know that memory is there. So when the going gets tough, think of you as an adult. What do you remember when you have to go through a tough time? Remember the sweetness. You remember the things that you were taught as a child, you were given as a child. And that's what it is. So yes, I love making memories. I love having children seeing things. Like when my granddaughter comes over and she empties the whole pot and drawer and she has it clanging on the floor, I just ignore her. Let her do this, because once they go to school, everything is no. You can't. Can I go to the washroom? No, you can't. May I go to the washroom? You may not. So these are the things they hear. Sit down, stand up. And so, let them have some freedom. It's the memory that keeps us alive. The good memories really sustains us in the hard times. The bad memory makes us try to make sure we don't do to another human being what was done to us. So yes, I love memories. I love creating good memories and wonderful memories with children. I love memories for myself. I have amazing memories with my husband and the things we did and the places we went and the people we met. And I have memories when I traveled, the different people I've met, the people's behavior from different places. Some of them are fascinating, some of them you stand in awe. But memories are important, and it's really, really important. You should always strive every day, especially if you have a child, to create a memory. Make sure there's memories for them. Because at the end of it all, when you're no longer responsible for them, or you're no longer there to comfort them, or you're no longer there to hold them, or you can't, the memories will sustain them. And that's what I think. So that's a funny one. Do you ever feel like just staying in bed? For what? I don't know. I know for sure the age I am now, I don't have that many more of ages to stay in bed. I have to get up. I have to make sure every moment counts. I have to get up. I do love to sleep, but I realize I know what I have to do. So I set an alarm and I get up with the alarm and I get going, because I only do what I love to do. I think they asked me a question, what did you do for fun? Everything I do in my life, I do it for fun at this time. When we had the children, and your children are children, and you have to go to work because you are providing for them, some days it wasn't fun. Because you just had to be there. You had a purpose. You had a reason. You had a plan. You had to be there. People have to be fed. They need clothes on their back. They need shoes. They need a warm house. They need a cold house. They need to go to school. You need to provide for them. So you just do what you have to do. So now, though, I am doing what I want to do for me. So I don't stay in bed, especially the morning. I am waking up earlier now, and I find it is such a fascinating time. I wake up around 5:30, purposely I set an alarm. I go to bed earlier. As I said, I love to sleep. So I go to bed earlier, and then I get up early, and I just love the morning. I love the peace of sitting quietly and just taking in the morning. So my morning is enjoyable. My whole day is, but my morning has something sweeter than that. And that is what I do. I love the morning. I love the comfort of a hot cup of warm water with lemon. I like the nice smelling coffee. I love sitting with that. I love meditating. I love praying. I love honoring my God who honored me by giving me an opportunity to wake up this morning and giving me a chance to try again, to fix what I did wrong yesterday, or to just be better than I was yesterday. It's a new day to start from scratch again. So I do that. I couldn't stay in bed. It's a waste of time. Furthermore, my bones would ache, and I don't like pain. So I would definitely not stay in bed all day. And then the last question, although I'll go over the others and give you my most important points. What is your why? What motivates you to do what you do? Well, that is a nice one. My why. My why I do it is to make sure somebody learns from what I have been. I have knowledge to spare. I want to serve. And every human being was born to serve. You weren't born to be served only. You can be served because that's how you learn. Your teacher served you, your parents served you, your teachers served you. So that's how you were taught. Somebody's educated you, somebody helped you, somebody encouraged you. Your mom showed you how to use the washroom, you have to wash your hands, how to wash your face, how to clean your bedroom, how to make your bed. Your teachers taught you how to read and write. I remember my mom teaching me to count on my fingers. So yes, my why is helping somebody to do better, serving others. I have the wisdom and knowledge. I had a lot of interaction with my parents because between the age, I was 4.5 years old when my sister that followed me was born. So I was like the girl, the first daughter. There was a brother who was 2 years older than me. So he was older, so he was already a boy. I was a girl for 4.5 years before I had a sister. So I have memories of that time. I have memories of going to school because it was so much time spent on me because of the gap. So I can remember her making me count with my fingers. So she was serving me as a mother should. But again, she had a choice. She could turn her back. I have memories of my father doing special things for me. So we all have to serve. We were born to serve. So when we go to work, although we get paid, we are serving. That's why in a bank where I work is a customer service person. I remember when I went to a branch as a manager and I walked in and they did not like the receptionist. And I told them she's the most important person in this entire branch. You know why? Because she can inform you if a storm is coming. She is at the stern. She can see the weather. She knows what this angry customer is coming to do. She can prepare you for what's going on. She's serving you. So although she's the lowest paid person there and you have your big pay over and you're sitting in your office, she can make or break your day. Her behavior can affect you. So she was born to serve you and these customers to do better. So you in turn have to respect that person and serve her by encouraging her to still do better. So yes, we are always born to serve. So serving somebody doesn't mean you have a waiter and you're giving them food to eat. That is not the service I'm talking about. Serving is telling that person, this is how you do that. Let me teach you. Let me help you. This is what I know, and this is what worked for me. You're lacking confidence. This is how I got confidence. You're lacking know-how. I can coach you to be a better person in that field. You get angry very easily. That person can calm you down and tell you, no, stop and think. Is it worth your while to blow up like that? So I serve. My why is to make the people, everybody I meet, I want to leave them better than I found them. I have always said that. I want to leave them better than I found them. Yes, that receptionist was something else. But I made her believe, and I encouraged her to believe, that she had control. That she was the best person and she was the most valuable person in the entire branch. And I told that to her in front of the other staff at the sales meeting. And then I explained to them, guys, she can destroy your bonus. If customers give us a bad review, guess what? You won't get your bonus in December and in January and June, you won't get it. So we have to make her better at what she does by teaching her, by serving her to raise her level. And when we did that, she was the happiest woman in the world. She came in, she would bring cakes for the fun. She would have coffees made for everybody when we had a meeting. And it was great. But when I came here, they detested her. Yet she had their pocket book in their hand and they didn't know that. So I like serving. I want when you come to me and you tell me my finances are just at the bottom. I don't know what to do. I owe more than I make. I am wasting money. I don't know what I do. I have no this. I like taking you and fixing you. I like showing you how to get in control of your finances. I like to give you financial health. And then after you have financial health, I can teach you how to get financial wealth. So I am born to serve. I'm born to encourage you that yes, you can do better. Yes, you can learn. Yes, you can try. Yes, you can bake a cake and bake bread and you can do all those things. I can come to you and teach you how to tend your garden because I know how to do mine. I was raised on a plantation. So I love my flowers and my fruits and my vegetables. I can do that. So this is what I'm trying to say to you. My why is serving others. My why is making you better than you were when I met you this morning. My why is making you feel so confident that when things go wrong, you're going to say, no. Tessa-Marie said, that is just a moment in time. When something goes wrong for you, remember, it's just a moment in time. It's not all your time. It's just that moment in time. And look at it as that, because it will go. We cannot catch time. We cannot captivate it. We cannot tie it. Time is going, whether we want to know or not. So when this bad thing has happened, it has gone. And if you sit there wailing about it, then you're not wailing at it. You can't see it. It's a moment in time. Everything you do is a moment in time. So make those moments matter. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I spend the time and I write. That's why I spend the time and I think. So that was the last one. But because there are a few of you on that did not get the first two, I'm just going to recap them, not to go over them. You would run away. The first one, somebody, I can't remember, I didn't write it down, but anyway. There was this one, and how are you able to read 7 books at one time? I don't read 7 books at one time. I read from 7 books in 7 days. So I read 15, 20 pages every day from a book. Some books I read over and over and over again. There's 2 or 3 of them, and I change the books. And I like all kinds of books. From fantasy, I just love reading, okay? So who motivates you, number 2, to you? Children do. Children are the greatest teachers. They're strong, they're determined, they go, they're fearless, they actually don't afraid. They say no. If they don't like something, they shake their head, they push the spoon away. They don't care. And that is important. Children teaches you how to live your life. Watch them, follow them, and you learn from them. They take off. You turn your back, they're gone. It's up to you to find me. Catch me if you can. Do you ever feel overwhelmed by what you do? Number 3, no, I don't. I'm never overwhelmed because I do what I want to do when I want to do it. I plan it, I organize it, and I don't do too much. I do what I'm supposed to do within the day. That's why I have days when I do this and days when I don't do that. Like I love writing, so I maybe will write every day, but there are days I write forever. What do you do for fun? Everything I do is for fun. I do it because I enjoy it. If I don't enjoy it, I won't do it. If I go somewhere and I don't like the environment, I won't stay. Life is just so 24 hours. That's all you have every day. Why waste it being where you don't want to be? So I don't do that. So everything I do is for fun. I don't have a favorite child. The qualities in each of my children I like. And that is the same with every parent. The qualities you like in your children. And each child has qualities that you favor, but you like them all. Or you love them all. Do you ever feel despondent about life? No, I don't. Because I looked at the definition, low in spirit from loss of hope and courage. And I am a believer, so I have no loss of hope. As long as I'm breathing, I'm going to hope. My father told me, as long as you're breathing, you have to teach what you know you need. What did he say? Knowledge is not yours to keep. So what you know, you teach. And he said, as long as you have life, you should be learning. So, and have hope that it will be better. And always try. So, no. So I don't, despondency is not something I give much time to. I just say, no, it is what it is. So let's get going. Let's see what we can do about it. Are you afraid of dying? Hell no, I don't care about that. I'm too busy living. So when the time comes to die, well, that's what you're going to do. They say there are 2 things you're sure you have to endure. It's taxes and death. Well, I've done taxes already, so I guess death is the next one. So when it comes, I cannot control it. I cannot say, hey, I'm not ready. I cannot do that. I have to go. Do you ever wonder what life would be after COVID? Life after COVID, those of us who had the life we had, that was giving, loving, caring, serving, helping, empathy, sympathy, concern, we're going to continue that. Those of us that didn't have that, they're going to go overboard. So get ready for friends and family who never called you, who didn't have time for you, neighbors that never waved to you. They're going to want to hug you and kiss you, and they'll bowl you over. So be careful, because they're going to come at you with all guns blazing. They missed a year, and it took a year for them to figure out that you should say hello to your neighbor, that you should say, hi, how are you doing today? So all of a sudden they realize they're going to jump over your head. Making memories is important to me. I love making memories with children, as I said. I love making memories with family and friends. I love to sit and reminisce about something funny and laugh at it. I am able to laugh at myself. My friends are like that. I have a good friend and we will laugh. We'll go and, we will go shopping just to aggravate the shop people that will just, well, not really aggravate her, but you come for a size 7 and she's telling me, my friend, to get a 6 and telling me a 9 will fit my 10 foot. No, it won't. So we do things and we do it together. I would not just lie in bed all day. It would be fruitless, and at the end of the day, I'd be wondering why. What did I accomplish? And what is my why? My why is to serve. Knowledge is not mine to keep. So whatever I know, I give you. So thank you so much for coming tonight with these wonderful, amazing questions. Thank you. I enjoyed it. And I hope you guys enjoyed it too. So if you did, I'll post it on Instagram. I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel. And I hope it's fun for you to watch it. So have a wonderful Friday night. And I'll see you again Monday morning when I do my morning blessings at 8 o'clock, and Monday night I'm having a coaching session, so that should be fun. And it's coaching on mortgages. Some lady that is going to ask me some questions, and I'll coach on her mortgage and how she can pay it down faster. So that is on Monday night. So have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hand, eat what you can, enjoy your life, because none of us know when it's going to end, right? So have fun. Talk to you, and thank you so much for coming. I'm grateful to have you here today. Take care. Bye.